I jumped in here and I thought I was in the wrong group. So I backed out. Let me just double check here. Let me know if you can see me. So I am Ashley Patrick. I am the nutrition and wellness coach in this group. I see me. I think we're good. Membership group. Okay, we're in the right group. I am going to keep my comments on here until I see somebody pop up here just to make sure it's working correctly. So I'm going to share on being mindful with your relationships. And this can be anywhere with coworkers, students, at home, children, like spouses, whatever. Just kind of think about, as I'm sharing this stuff, if you can think about specific people or situations when you're like, oh, I should probably work on that. So keep that in mind. So I am going to share on that this week, and then next week I'm going to come back on and share about mindful movement, because I love exercise and workout and stuff like that. So I'm really excited for that one. Hey, Anna, I see you. Okay, I'm going to minimize this so I don't get distracted here. Okay, so when it comes to being mindful about your relationships, there's one thing that can get in the way. And it's probably an obvious one for you guys, and maybe you're kind of like, oh, I never thought of that. It's your ego, okay? So there's a good ego and there's a bad ego. Everybody has an ego. You have to have it, right? So the good ego is going to help be mindful of other people, your situations, your conversations. Like, you're just constantly aware of your situation. You know, I hear that saying all the time. It's like, are you aware of your situation? Like, what? What are you talking about? So you're kind of aware. The bad part of the ego is when it steps in and you become defensive in conversations, or if someone's giving you, I think of like constructive criticism. If you see it as a negative and you kind of go into defense mode right away without really understanding what's going on, that's the bad part, the negative part of the ego, okay? So there's positive and negative. So these four, I'm going to share 4 key practices that you can use. I see me over here and it's like I'm in the corner of my eye. Sorry, squirrel. There's 4 key practices that you're going to use that are going to help you get to that positive ego when it comes to being mindful with your relationships. Okay? So here we go. The first one is pay attention. It seems very, very obvious, but if you are not giving 100% of your attention to the person, the conversation, the situation, things get missed, things are misunderstood. You maybe hear one part of it and you think that they are criticizing you. So I think of like coworkers, or like as a student, when I was a student, if a teacher came up to me and was like telling me, like giving me feedback on homework, if I wasn't too confident in the project, or I wasn't too confident in that subject, or I just didn't have the trust in that person, it came off to me as like I'm doing things wrong. It's negative. I'm in the defense completely, you know. Or if you think of coworkers, if somebody is giving you corrective criticism, you're gonna go in that defense mode if you're not in the right mindset. Okay, so if you are understanding where they're coming from and kind of completely in the conversation instead of just distracted and hearing bits and pieces, you're going to be more mindful. So giving full attention embodies mindfulness. Okay, remember that. The other one, the next one, so pay attention. Give your energy, all your focus to them, to that subject, to whatever's going on, to that one student, to whatever, not just a class in general, to the one student. Accepting and understanding is the second one. So accepting people and understanding situations and things that happen, that builds trust. So students or coworkers, say they came up and they did not complete a project. Well, instead of jumping in and kind of doing the feedback but focusing on the negative first, if you accept the situation, and you start searching for an understanding of why the project's not completed or why it was turned in late or whatever is going on, that helps build trust, and it's going to help them down the road because they're going to keep that trust with you. So it's going to help them know they can come to you with a situation or something that's going on as far as student, I'm thinking, or it could be relationships, I suppose. You accept the situation and search for understanding. It doesn't it doesn't close off the conversation. They're not going to remember exactly what you said. And this, I think, of all the time. So people don't remember what you said. They remember how you made them feel. So I had a teacher. I'm just going to share the story quick. Because when I think of like mindful of relationships and stuff like that, this is one that I had when I was in 5th grade. So was it 5th grade or 6th grade? 5th grade. My 5th grade teacher. I'm not going to tell you where I went. I'm not going to tell you who it was. No. So I have a sister that's 1.5 years older than me. So she went through the school the year right before me. She's a January baby. I'm a June. So I started a little early. So she went through first, the class the year before me. Well, I had this teacher that would always compare me to her. And she was a straight A student and I was not. And I just remember, I don't remember exactly what he said, but I remember how he made me feel when he would check my homework or when he would make a comment about my sister going through and doing better at this than me or whatever. So be very aware of the words you're using. And if you are accepting, like, yes, kids are kids, we're siblings, but we're completely different as far as our learning and whatever else. But if you start with the negative and the criticism, it shuts off the conversations. And he wasn't one, I lost trust in him. I wasn't going to go back to that teacher and open up and be like, I need help with this. I was just like, whatever, I'm done, So it kind of shut off conversation at a young age. So if you're accepting what is and you're moving forward, it's going to help keep the conversation open and it's going to help prevent this in the future. Okay. The third thing, so first one, pay attention. Second one, accepting and understanding. Third one is appreciation. And this I think of as far as children. I have children, so I think of that. Or even with my spouse and stuff around the house. When you're doing something and somebody notices it and they tell you how awesome it was, or they appreciate you and they say certain things or do certain things, and it makes you feel appreciated and feel loved and feel proud of what you did, what are you going to do? You're going to do it again. So like with my kids, if we just praise the heck out of them because they picked up their books and they're not laying on the floor. I love books. Do not step on books. Like, that's how I am with them. If I praise them that, oh my gosh, you picked up all these books. This is amazing. You know what they're going to do? Maybe I'll give them a piece of candy, whatever, and I'll reward them. They're going to do it again and be like, Mom, look what I did, and they'll be so excited. So appreciation creates a deeper and a closer relationship. It builds more trust. You tend to focus more on the positive first and then do the corrective criticism after. You focus on the praise and then go to that was great, buddy. I'm so proud of you, but let's work on this, or whatever it is. Like, praise them first and then correct them after. Sorry, my kids just woke up. It was a late nap time and they were sleeping in the car. So if you hear crying, that's what's going on. My husband has them. Don't worry. The other thing, don't worry, we're good. So pay attention, accepting and understanding, appreciation. And the fourth one is allowing others to be themselves. And this kind of goes back with the accepting and understanding too. So you need to let people be themselves. All people have their own ideas, and it's just, everyone's different. Everyone's so different. There's some kids, I remember in my class, that would just have an idea and blurt it out. And other ones you would have to, they were very quiet, but they had great ideas, but they would never say them until you called them kind of called them out, so allowing other people to be themselves and not try and change who they are, it's going to build even more trust. It's going to make them want to share ideas and be more vocal. And just, I think of like meetings, okay? If you're in a meeting, typically there's the same people that are kind of sharing their ideas. And then there's the group of people that are just kind of quiet and keep to themselves. Well, different situations. I'm not sure why they're quiet. Maybe they're just shy or don't have any ideas, But if you open up and accept people how they are and don't tell them, oh, I don't know if that's a very good idea. Just being mindful of your words and your actions. If you're praising them, if you're doing these other things, people are going to have the trust, kids, whatever, spouses, coworkers, they're going to build that trust. And they're going to share more ideas. They're going to get more involved. They're going to ask more questions. They're going to feel more comfortable in groups or wherever they are in whatever situation. So that's all I have for you. So it's a really quick video. Kind of quick. I guess I talked a lot. But so these are the 4 key practices. So just be aware when you are in conversations, when you are feeling that in that defense mode, or you're seeing kids kind of shut down or go in defense mode or whatever it is, be mindful of the actions or the conversation or the situation and think, did you do these 4 things? Were you paying attention to what they were truly asking, or were you kind of distracted? Were you accepting of where they are in their understanding and trying to help them move a little further, and keep the conversation open? Were they feeling the conversation was shut down? Were they feeling like negative was what the main focus was? Where were they at? Do you appreciate the little things? Do you praise? Oh my gosh, you got your work done. I don't know what grade you're all grades in here, I suppose. But but I just think of like younger kids. You can be a little more dramatic with, oh my gosh, you did your homework, but let's work on this. That looks really good, but let's try it again. That is more younger. You can talk a little differently and not so excited, I guess, with the older ones, maybe. But appreciate them, know their value, know their worth, and allow others to be themselves. That's the 4 things. This is going to help your ego. So when you are that person, you don't feel like you are in defense mode. You don't feel like you're being attacked. You don't feel like you're the victim. Because a lot of times people don't understand what they're feeling or why they're feeling this. And sometimes it comes down to just one conversation or how people talk to them or how they feel around certain people. So that's what I have for you. I will be back next Monday and we will talk about mindful movements. And then we'll be in October already. Can you believe that? So, happy Monday. I hope you guys have an amazing week. If you have any questions, put them in here. Message me. Send a message to Mallory or Anna, and they can forward it to me. Whatever you need. And that's all I got. Have a good day, guys.